The main event of this month will be the conjunction between Mars and Uranus. Uranus has been in Taurus since middle of May 2018, and it will be in Taurus until April 26, 2026. This is a long period of change. Most importantly, the change that we don't know could even exist, meaning that it is innovative, bold, creative, brave, and in a way earth-shattering. Only within last year, Mars has made many aspects to Uranus. Starting with the 2nd of August 2022, when Mars was exactly on top of Uranus at the 18 degrees of Taurus. Also here we had North Node in Taurus. So think back to 2nd of August 2022, and we're going to go through some dates when Mars was making aspects to Uranus for you to track how this transit was playing out in the last year and a half and how the interaction between these two planets has been playing out for you. Also, we are going to see where in your chart this new upcoming conjunction on the 16th of July will be taking place and how it's going to affect the area of your life. So initially the conjunction was happening on the 2nd of August 2022. And then Mars went retrograde, and only after it went out of its retrograde in Gemini, it made a square from Leo to Uranus on the 27th of June 2023. It was the beginning of changes that were happening for you, the first adjustment period. After that, we also were going to have a look at the next major aspect, a trine from Mars in Virgo to Uranus in Taurus on the 15th of August 2023. On the 12th of November 2023, Mars was in Scorpio, now opposing Uranus. And that was probably the best time to reflect back on if you want to see the starking contrast between the two energies, between the pondering and really dignified Mars in Scorpio and the Uranus and Taurus. What are the actual changes that are propelling you forward, and if there is anything that you wish to hang on to, or if there's anything that you actually want to fully let go of. On the 30th of January, Mars was in Capricorn and it was trining Uranus because Capricorn and Taurus are fellow Earth signs. And in January, it was very exciting and even hard to wait to move forward. But the changes are now being incremental and very hands-on and instrumental. If you had any progress by end of January 2024, you should be looking at it from now a bit more practical perspective on how you actually went with the change and responded to your productivity and assertiveness within the new landscape. On the 10th of March, Mars was in Aquarius making another square to Uranus. So if we go back to June 2023, we are on the other side. But again, squaring Uranus. So what in our mind and in our surroundings and in our circles, even social circles, has been propelling us forward, or what are we still pondering on that is stagnating our progress? And if there is any stagnation at all, because we could be just overly attuned and acute in our mind. So that leaves us back on current moment, which is the 16th of July. And here we have a massive, huge Mars and Uranus conjunction in Taurus, signaling that it is a sudden change and a burst of energy on the cards, maybe even a need for freedom, So let's break down the implications for each zodiac sign, focusing on the house placement and the pros and cons of this transit. On the 16th of July, Aries will experience a second house shakeup, and the house means anything financial in our life, our possessions and the sense of self-worth, and this house says, I have. So what is the shakeup in your inner resourcefulness, dear Aries? Let's look at the pros and cons of this transit. The financial opportunities. Of course, you might make some more money, or this will be money coming from a new source, or it has been already something you have been working on that is finally having that surge of new energy, that lightning bulb moment. You might come across unexpected ways to increase your income, such as maybe even sudden investment opportunity or a unique job offer. Or you could be offering yourself a new job, and of course you are hired and you are your own boss. Innovative earnings. There's a new creative way to make money, and you have been on the lookout for those opportunities, and these can bring you success. And of course, the boost of self-esteem is also inevitable because your achievements speak for themselves, unless you are creating yourself any extra chaos by trying to do too much. Of course, the self-worth and confidence will have a new, amazing taste that will revive your senses. Cons. Impulsive spending. Of course, there is a risk of making rash financial decisions. So be cautious. Be cautious with that sudden urge to spend money. You don't need to prove yourself to anybody. Just see how you feel and what makes your survival skills stay happy. Financial instability. Again, due to that impulsive and unstable nature of Uranus, a surprise planet, but also it's planet of breaking the mold. If there is some financial instability, you can create a new set of values that will determine the trajectory of your finances in the future from this point on. And yes, sudden change. Be prepared, because if you have not made any materialist securities that could save you peace of mind, make sure you can fly, you can swim, and you can quantum shift and metamorph, because there could be sudden unexpected changes and developments in this house for you. Overall, this transit is here to show you how far you have come from June last year, and it's only just the beginning, because Uranus will be leaving Taurus in a couple of years, and you have really, truly, just look back from the 2018, you have truly changed your life, Aries. You have truly changed your self-worth, the way you are patient with yourself, your self-esteem, and of course, you are no longer giving up on your financial dream. You are making it work, and you should be proud of yourself. If there is any sign that should be on the lookout of this transit, Mars conjunct Uranus, is actually Taurus, because it was happening Taurus in your sign, meaning we are targeting your first house to describe the innermost urgent vibes and feels that are going to change you, could even change your identity, the way you relate to your freedom, what you initiate and what you wish to express. Your willpower is here for test drive. Okay, let's look at pros and cons of this transit through your first house, the house of identity, appearance, personal goals, superhumanness of ours that separates us from everyone else. Taurus, you're in for yet another shake-up. Take a look back and pat yourself on the shoulder, because since 2018 you have been making leaps and bounds in your energy, in your fire, in what makes you unique, in what makes you you, and how you go about business. Alright, the pros of this transit is, of course, a reinvention of self, a huge, powerful time for personal transformation. You may even feel inspired to change the world, to change you, to change everything about you. And we have an increased sense of confidence. You are working on that body, you're working on that attitude, you're expressing how you feel. Individuality boosts your self-assurance, and others are noticing it. No worries. Breakthroughs in personal projects, and again, you are happy to initiate new things or to finish old things that you just love doing, and this is the representation of who you are and what your true self actually means. And the cons: restlessness, and here a strong desire for change, but what do you actually do with it? What can we do? We have done that. You have done that. Impulsiveness, initiating, but also a tiny bit of rage, a tiny bit of inconclusive desire. Identity crisis. The shift can be so sudden that you finally looking in the mirror and you realize you look like... something tells me Britney Spears. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I love you, Britney. I'm sorry. But this is an analogy. Who the hell is that girl in the mirror? Who the hell is that boy in the mirror? Potential conflict. As you assert your individuality, some people might not like it, and of course there could be clashes with those who want to damp out your radio station and make you play under the water. Confrontation, and also be aware of paranoia from your end that someone is better, stronger, faster than you and is out to get you. Overall, this transit is going to make changes in you, so make sure that you are responsible for you, because Uranus cannot touch you unless you have a strong foundation in your identity. And identity is a very flexible concept. It can change with time, and I believe it should. So embrace this opportunity to finally give yourself that makeover that you knew was actually in the depths of your being somewhere, just waiting to be discovered again. Best of luck, Taurus. Most precious sign of ours this current transit. Gemini, you are having Mars and Uranus conjunction happening in your 12th house, the house of subconscious, of dreams and hidden matters, the house of even illusion, mediumship, psychic powers, boundaries, and the fantasy world of a wounded escape artist. So, Gemini, I urge you to become this transit, become this July, and look at your journey since the end of June last year. See where you were and see how far you have actually come in terms of your connection to the bigger, intangible, spiritual, deep and fascinating secrets of life. Where do you stand here? Where is your little bubble in this big ocean of opportunities, of shake-ups and shake-downs? How's your subconscious doing? Let's look at the pros and cons of this transit for you, Gemini. The pros: you will have deep psychological insights, and you might uncover some deep truths about yourself, even deeper than you were going with initially, leading to healing, leading to growth. You might even hear the Almighty talking to you, the big Mother Earth talking to you. Even the birds could be singing their song, and you can decipher the messages. Connect to your guides and angels and whatever works for you to establish that expansive, amazing, blissful feeling of peace and unity. You will have breakthroughs in healing, and you have spiritual awakening. It's a great time to try some innovative holistic therapies, spiritual practice, something that just brings you inner peace even more, because you have been on a pretty dreadful journey sometimes, and you just need that extra care and extra me time, extra transcendence in this already spicy margarita. The cons of the transit is inner turmoil. And here I would suggest just sleep more, rest more. And if there is anyone out there doing the behind the scenes work that is not of your interest, don't worry, it will be all very, very visible. There's no rock to be unturned. You are so aware of any deception and any hidden agendas, and they're coming to light. Whoever wished you not well is going to be that naive person who will be found out eventually. I am wishing you to continue that vivid dream of yours, and I'm going to say that every musician and every poet had to experience some sort of darkness before they found their inspiration and light. And here Uranus and Mars are going to really show you where you stand in the bigger picture of entire universe. Cancer. Get prepared, because on the 16th of July, Mars will be on top of Uranus in Taurus, and for you it is the 11th house, a house of long-term memory, our humanitarian house, our individuality, liberation from the mass, and also the house of groups, friendships, goals, reforms, innovation in general. So for you, it's a sweet and cuddly placement where you can get exciting new friendships and you get stimulated in an expansive and surprising way. Let's look at the pros and cons of this transit for you, Cancer. Exciting friendships, as I have mentioned. New stimulating people may enter your life, expanding your social circle. That's a big tick. Social causes are driving your attention. You are finally getting on your feet and fulfill the progress of your involvement with the social groups and ideas that belong to those. How are you standing out in all that crowd, Cancer? That's my question for you. And the cons of this transit: social upheaval. Just stay away from the crazy crowds. If you're going on a concert, make sure that you have enough space around you, you've got your water. Just stay safe. If there is anything planned on these days, I urge you to use caution. But again, you should not feel ostracized, or you should not feel a group of one. You might see how you are different from others, and your opinions are different, and the goals of the group might not necessarily be in your best interest. So watch out for conflicts with friends and any organization you're involved with. You can really use your intuition here, Cancer, because this is easy for you to navigate, I feel. Unexpected shifts. What is happening with your big dream, Cancer? What is happening with your goals? Are they requiring some sort of flexibility? Can you adjust? And if you adjust, how does it make you feel? And what are the consequences of these adjustments? How does it affect you and others? And if you can sort these things out and really stay away from the big sweaty concerts with the mosh pits, you're gonna be perfect. I feel you have come such a long way since June last year. Your sweet rebellion, your unique dreams, your community and your tribe. And you know what? Trauma is for sissies, and you know that by now, Cancer. Best of luck, and I wish you well. Leo, on the 16th of July, Mars will be conjoining Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house, the house of career, public image, authority, your honor, your judgment of things, and your reality at large and what is happening with your experience outside of your comfort zone. The pros of this transit is that there is going to be new recognition of your public persona. You are very disciplined, and your discipline is going through a leveling up. Your leadership opportunities are taking on a bigger and greater role. Are you up for the challenge? What is the career breakthrough you've been dreaming of, and how you can actually adjust yourself and your career to meet those big aspirational goals, and what are the bold actions that you're taking to advance that. On the cons side, there could be just a career change that you didn't want to happen and it's still happening, and it requires you to be really quick on your feet and adapt, and sometimes it gets a bit rigid and paralyzing in terms of the ego that has to give in. And Leo, you don't want to give in anything, but here we could have authority conflicts and the public image transformation, where there could be some events that could impact how you are seen, and your actions could be having a bit more weight. So if you have a mistake, make sure that you go with it as a leader. And it's normal to make mistakes. It's actually important to make mistakes. The main thing is how you handle, how careful you are with yourself, with the situation, and with others. So this transit requires some mature sobriety and some responsibility on your end, because you will be tested on your flexibility and how you actually structure your life around change. So Change Management 101 for Leo. Grab that book and just leave it on the on the toilet bench. I'm sorry, but yeah, make sure your public image stays polished the best way you can. You are getting stretched out and tested, Leo. Make sure that you are on brand. Virgo, your 9th house will be activated this July 16th when Mars will be conjoining Uranus in Taurus in your sister sign of Earth. The 9th house represents mutable energies that you are familiar with but are a little bit different. It is a house of higher learning, of bigger minds, of trust, of truth, expansion, meaning, wisdom, philosophy. It's your synthesizing abilities to make sense of the world and provide the wisdom to move forward. So here we have something that is going to make us feel like we're explorers of the new territory. We are the heroes of this journey. And there are the positives and the negatives, of course, and let me cover those for you. The pros of this transit is new perspectives in how you think, new interests, new philosophies, new belief systems. Maybe you started learning astrology, or maybe you are into Vietnamese rolls that you never even tried and now you're absolutely obsessing over it. Just as an example, like you could be into food, or you could be learning about the discourse of philosophical studies and constantly talking about it, and really being like a foreigner in the new land, recklessly exploring and getting your feet and hands dirty. Opportunities for travel. Take that ticket, go explore. Make sure you understand that your security is covered, because we are dealing with Uranus. Just make sure that your tickets, say what they're gonna do, and you have travel insurance, because these two planets, the Mars as well as Uranus, are malefics, even if they are in this beautiful freedom-loving 9th house. I would still say just play the grown-up game and make sure your beautiful cheeks are covered for these sort of opportunities. Educational breakthroughs. innovative, new approach to learning, micro learning, macro learning. Maybe you're going into the university, maybe you're doing something you have never done before, or you're finishing what you have started in June and now it's like a new page, a new chapter. The cons of this transit is, of course, as I mentioned, travel disruptions, and you have noted everything I said because you're Virgo and I love you for it. Belief clashes. Okay, if there's someone at the table who doesn't like Vietnamese rolls, you don't need to you don't need to do a thing. Let them just do their thing, and you are the explorer, and flip the page. Next. Educational shifts, which is fine. It's just sudden changes in how you go about your studies, sudden change about how you go within the existing framework of how you do things and what you think about things. And here you're like, oh my goodness, I just found a shortcut. I might just use it, even though I was doing things differently before. So adaptability is the name of the game. Inspiration is the name of the game, and your ideas is the name of the game. So be free with those and see what that takes you, Virgo. Look forward to hear your stories. Bye. Libra, on the 16th of July, Mars will be conjoining Uranus and it will be landing in your 8th house of transformation, intimacy, shared resources, magic powers, powerlessness, psychology, and our shadows. Libra, if you have your sunnies on, just take them off because you would want to see what's going on here, okay? The pros of this transit: you're going to have deep, life-changing, transformative experiences that are not on the surface, but it is rumbling underneath that you know, you feel, and it's visceral. It's a metamorphosis, something that comes out like a volcano. And all of that lava is you and your hidden alchemy that is now surfacing. So welcome that. That's beautiful, transformative, and it's going to do amazing work for you long term. And just to check in with yourself, where were you in end of June last year, 2023? And you will understand the themes happening this time. Another positive is that you will finally see the way forward with your money and how you handle your finances and how you handle joint finances and then the investments and the people who play a part. You understand who they are, what they can and what they cannot do, and of course what you can and cannot do to them, with them, because of them. And deeper intimacy. Did you get those silky sheets? Make sure you use them. I'm just making it so... Intimacy doesn't necessarily mean physical. It could mean spiritual, platonic, connection, even just friendship style, but this is that friend that you can call any time of the night and they come and feed you with a spoon if you can't get out of bed. You know what I mean? That intimate, that deep, that power/powerlessness connection. Make sure it is not codependent. Make sure it is heavenly, like I want to say, in the best scenario of what brother or sister would do for their brother or sister. The cons. A little bit of corruption could surface up and you will know exactly what that is. Shared resources can be unpredictable and causing you stress. Could be power struggles with that corrupted person in your circle, in your really tight inner circle, and conflicts over control and power in relationships. Here you have to understand that you need to balance that with inner resource that would be much more giving than any other person and their breadcrumbs. Emotional upheaval can be an opportunity here for you to grow and get out of your comfort zone. And those deep emotions that surface, welcome them, stay with them, appreciate them, and be very compassionate to yourself. And if someone is giving you a hard time, distance yourself and practice compassion and gratitude, but in your own private ways. Good luck, Libra. Scorpio, on the 16th of July, Mars will be conjoining Uranus in Taurus, and for you it is excitingly the 7th house. The house of partnerships, of marriage, and of even open confrontation with someone. We're going to dive deep into that. The 7th house is normally considered a house of marriage, but show me the marriage that is perfect. Show me the marriage that has no projection, no fear, no shadows, and show me that marriage, show me that partnership that has no darkness. You are a Scorpio and you seek stability in your relationships, so here the stability is getting a little shake up. Let's look at the pros and cons of this transit for you, Scorpio. The pros: exciting partnerships. Could be new partnerships and could be something that you didn't even think was possible and it's happening. It is that feeling of, wow, I actually am very surprised by this person. And you feel included and compassionate and listening and tuning in with curiosity and excitement. So that's great. And relationship existing can have this facelift, get that allure happening again, the breakthrough. Maybe your better half, hopefully not that much better, got a new appearance. Maybe they have changed their style and you are finding that very attractive in the best case scenario. And of course, just overall increased excitements and feeling like there's so much opportunity here for you. On the cons: sudden change, conflict, and disruption. And whatever that makes sense for you could be a cause of stress, just annoyance, really. Maybe a fall from social grace for your partner and you feel embarrassed because of that. Or you can have misunderstanding on their experience, something that testing them, and you are left not knowing or knowing too much, or you don't know how to help them, something like that. Maybe a disagreement on some power struggle case, and that could be just bickering back and forth. Use your best judgment here and do not think it's your fault. It's just that person is going through some change and they just need support. Again, make sure that you fill your cup first, Scorpio, because it's 7th house. Whatever is happening in your inner world, you will be projecting on them. So just give the other person some grace and allow the disruption to happen in the healthiest of ways. But because it is Uranus, you never know. So I would just say find the diplomatic approach and increase the harmony and just relate to your partner in a way that you wish you were being treated if there was something worrying you or giving you extra anxiety. Just another thing on the to-do list. Too many. Just regulate the conflict with your trust and love. Best of luck, Scorpio. Sagittarius, your 6th house is getting activated by the upcoming Mars conjunct Uranus on the 16th of July. So watch out for that health and for that work and for that healing, your place in society, your critical thinking, and what you see you can improve about yourself and about your daily life, your routines. Let's look at the pros and cons of this transit, because it's going to be a really massive event of this month, and we shall begin with the health innovations. So if there's something that you wanted to change, now it's time to change it in terms of your health and wellness. Just make sure that you are not going to the extremes and you're not chasing a wild goose, because healing everything takes time. Your work can go through breakthroughs, sudden change, and innovation in the way that is efficient and new for you to perform your tasks. You finally understand how to do things better, and that's great. You could also have a new routine that boosts your productivity, and your sleeping is great, and you're eating well. So you're finally finding that discipline that is now shaken up by a newer discipline, because this is a newer version of you and you're happily adjusting to those changes. There's nothing wrong with change. You know that you love change. You're going to be doing just fine. This is a positive transit. If you wanted to get rid of something that was stopping you, now it's like you can literally shut the door on that thing, on that concept, on that past, and move forward. The cons, you could have just plain and simple. I'm not giving here any diagnosis, but if you want to use it as a metaphor, it could be that inflammation. So inflamed things in your life in terms of like how you think about things. Is your mind inflamed? Do you think that your daily routine is too much? Do you think that your health is not the best, and you are like, okay, now it's time to make a change, or I'm not gonna do that one more cleanse, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna take it easy and tone it down a bit because it's already feeling a bit stressful. Just the energy, just the quantum, just that air is electrified already. I kind of want to take a step back and resolve everything quietly. Same for the work. If you have work conflicts or routine changes, or someone is asking you to do something out of the woodwork, you can be looking at it with a critical eye and say, you know what, I don't want that, thank you. So saying no, this Mars conjunct Uranus in the 6th house of Sagittarius, but make sure you do it in a way that is still of service, of self-improvement. If it improves you, give it a chance, and if it makes you feel inadequate, give it a boot, and you will do fine, Sagittarius. Love you so much. Bye. Capricorn, your 5th house is about to go through a major transformation, and you know it because Mars will be conjoining Uranus in Taurus in your house of creativity, children, romance, inner child, the house of letting it go, the house of the heart, of being generous and creative, recognized, and a little bit of a childish, gambling, risk-taking house. So we've got Mars on Uranus and Taurus here, and just make sure you're not taking any risks that you would be regretting. Let's see at the pros and cons of this transit for you. First and foremost, you're going to have an exciting, creative, innovative project that can come to you, and it's going to bring you recognition. You could even have a successful and exciting romance that is thrilling your romantic vibes, and that is entering your life as a surprise, and you're happy for it. Could be innovative projects that you're already working on, and that means you are finding new ways to express yourself and be of that statement. You want to be having that approval, and you deserve it. Your subjective awareness is just mesmerizing to others, and they want to be like you. So Capricorn, you're at the center stage of this transit. The cons, just as there could be surprises that are on the plus side, there could be surprises that don't really mesh with your expectations. You could have fussy, if you have children, your children could be a bit extra fussy or extra annoying. Or they could just rise some questions in you saying, am I a good parent? If you don't have children, think of your creative pursuits, your hobbies as your children, and they could be fussy, or something needs to be done, or there's like, oh, I need to do it differently, so there's a whole hacking the system thing again. Those sudden shifts can really make you feel puzzled, and you think that's just too much going on, and I want to have a break, and I want to actually freeze everything. But this is a challenge to see, okay, where were you in June last year? What was happening then? Because it's the same energy, it's just different degrees in Taurus. But see what you were doing then and see if you need to do anything different this time. If not, it's great, you're just making sure you're getting that polish. But if there is change, welcome the change, because this change is here to break through, not to break you down. I wish you all the best, Capricorn. Stay positive on this transit. See you soon. Aquarius. Very important transit for you will be happening on the 16th of July, when Mars will be conjoining Uranus in your 4th house of home, family, roots, and your private matters, everything that you know about yourself to be true, and sometimes you wish no one knew that about yourself. It's the house of our ego, of our formative years, of our even ancestors. And what do we do behind closed doors when no one can see? Only maybe family members can see. So here we already have a little bit of a pickle, because Mars is the planet of action and Uranus is the planet of innovation. So there's going to be new beginnings. Your 4th house is going to be the primary focal point. See where you were in June 2023 and what was happening in your home environment then, and you will be understanding what is happening to you this July. The pros and cons of this transit are the prawns, family, the prawns on the Barbie. Family breakthroughs. Innovative solutions to family issues can lead to harmony. What are you discussing at the family table? What are you hearing? How do you nurture yourself and protect yourself? And what are the imprints you get from your family members, and just even if you live alone, from the walls of your house? What is the vibe there? Exciting home changes, of course. You can put on your creative hat and do some renovations, and your living arrangements can bring you that fresh energy you wanted. So if you want to feel something new and fresh, literally just move the furniture around, and it's going to be like your new life has just started. The cons of this transit could be the home instability, family conflicts, feeling of restlessness. So here you can, whether to diffuse that, focus on your career, or focus on creating that security for you and your loved ones, looking at their needs, make sure there's no neglect, self-neglect, and others. You can just pick up the phone and call your mom and feel better if there's something happening in your home. Just hearing that loving voice of someone who you love and who loves you, who you haven't spoken to in a while, will be so comforting and soothing and resolving those tensions. Ask for help. That's very normal, and that maybe could help not to escalate the situation in an unexpected way. Rely on common sense here and make sure that your impulsive decisions are checked in, and make sure you talk about those touchy emotional needs of yours and of others in a peaceful setting. If you feel like something is bubbling up in your family space, count to 10, take a deep breath, and try again. No one is perfect, and you don't have to be Aquarius. Give yourself grace and tell the loved ones you love them. Bye. Pisces, your 3rd house of communication, siblings, local environment, of how your mind works, how you think about things, is going to have a shake-up and a transformation. The way you process the information and your mind can feel scattered. Your ideas can be questioned, or you can just have new ideas that make you move even further than you were in June last year. The conjunction will be happening on the 16th of July. Mars on top of Uranus in your third house. Let's have a look at the pros and cons of this left brain transit. The communication breakthroughs. Finally, you are DMing people, or they are DMing you, who you have never thought would be even in your sphere of influence, and whose opinions you value and you didn't even expect it. And it's like, wow, I'm doing this. I'm expressing myself in an improved way, and I am making myself seen, and my mind is sharp, and I solve any paradox that comes my way with wit, grit, and beautiful rationalization. Your short journeys could become very active. You are excited about your local activities in your neighborhood, with your siblings, engaging in new activities, and your community is saying a big thank you for that. And of course, your ideas are beautiful, innovative, you're a great storyteller, and you love to tell a good story, a good joke. Your intellectual abilities are having just amazing facelift. I don't know how to say it. Just amazing ideas. Just wow, like your planner is off the charts, and you can juggle multiple things at once, and you know how to do this. It's so easy. You feel like an Olympic champion in your local backyard, and just telling all these amazing stories and learning as you go as well, staying curious about life and about new opportunities in your immediate environment. Go for it, Pisces. The cons could be miscommunication. Someone misinterpreted your words, got you out of the context. Your siblings are being weird, or tensions and surprises, and like, oh my god, I was going this way, now you're calling me and asking me to do a detour, sort of thing. Could be as small as that. And the routine disruptions as well, like maybe they're making new internet lines and digging some holes around your parking spot, and you're like, come on guys. So just environment check-in, make sure you are adaptable, and make sure you're still free in your thinking, and you are not afraid to speak up, and you are not afraid to be firm. So I feel this is going to be a positive transit for you, Pisces. And just, keep out of that comfort zone just to be safe, because if you're too comfortable, that disruption might just really, really annoy you. And here, because you're a Pisces, the whole domino effect. So just let all the dominoes stay intact and you will be fine. Love you so much, and I look forward to see you in the next videos. Bye.